deep breath, deep breath, deep breath, deep breath. Let it go, let it out, let it go, let it out. Take a deep breath, deep breath, deep breath. Till you feel the breath and touch the sky. Take a deep breath, deep breath, deep breath, deep breath. Let it go, let it out, let it go, let it out. Take a deep breath, deep breath, deep breath. Till you feel the breath and touch the sky. On a sunny morning, I touched the sky. Next morning, I touched your heart. What's the start? I play my role when I rip the mic apart. Do what I got to do, the place is spark. I'ma put it down, seeking no crown anymore. From the moment I saw you, it's all gone. Hard to believe to a pimp like me. Used to have every woman every day of the week. Quick time, I put that behind. Said I'm sorry, I got to go from the side. Lied to the man, I aim high to the place no human has ever given try. So I got to go, I got to go. All I want is for you to stay. Man out of grave, resurrected. Now he's connected. No concession, just embedded by you. Yeah. Take a deep breath. Let it go. Follow my lead. No doubt about that. It's a happy day. I gotta tell you one thing. Take a deep breath, deep breath, deep breath, deep breath. Let it go, let it out, let it go, let it out. Take a deep breath, deep breath, deep breath. Till you feel the breath and touch the sky. Take a deep breath, deep breath, deep breath, deep breath. Let it go, let it out, let it go, let it out. Take a deep breath, deep breath, deep breath. Till you feel the breath and touch the sky. I won't deny that I used to play. Young days I've done things that I can't even say. Time to make up my day. God, it's so hard to regulate till I met her yesterday. I was the dirt and you're the purifier. I'm the gasoline while you're the fire. Keep it on the DL, no inquiry.
Hello, people. How is everybody doing today? Tonight, actually. 7th second here. Hope you're having a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Specifically a Sunday. Oh, we're in that mood. We're in that mode tonight. So I am on support lead. I am actively monitoring my email, which there's been nothing, thank God. And I'm actively monitoring the work chat where new issues get posted. Today there's been nothing. Although I will say I'm expecting something to come through. I kind of am expecting something to come through at this point. Yeah, let me do that. We had and the other reason I'm saying I'm expecting something to come through is because technically something came through yesterday. It's mainly the reason I didn't stream yesterday. I had a support call that came in. I got a heads up that a support call was coming in at about 7 o'clock. It took them another like 2.5-ish hours to get it up to the point where they actually contacted us. And then we were on a WebEx for like an hour and a half. And at that point I was just done. I was like, I don't feel like fucking doing this, which sucks. It's one of those things that I can't avoid when I'm on support league. And hopefully when we hire some more people, we will get it back to where I am not on support lead once a month. It is about to change though. We have a new guy that just hired in. What? When did we hire him? Like 2 months ago? I gotta find opportunities for y'all to do shit with channel points. I have no idea what to do with them. I've got sounds. I don't feel like I guess I could crank the cost of sounds, but and thank you for the motor. But I'm like, I don't know what else to do with them. So yeah, you have a big ass bank of channel points. Maybe one of these days we'll I don't know. I don't know what to do with it. I've been trying to think of shit to do with it, but it's like the stuff I play tends to not deal with that. Like, I'm trying to give ways for you guys to interact with the chat, interact in the stream with it, but the closest I've thought of is like all of the noises you can make happen. Speaking of which, let me crank my own personal sound up. Channel points are just weird. I know a lot of chats have found ways to do it, but at the moment, like, of the things I play, I tend to not find things. And also, I feel like you need a decent bit of people in the chat to be able to use, like, bets or the channel point prediction thing. Or if it was something where I'm like, I have something that I will do for people, but if you amass this amount of channel points, that's the only way you can get it. That kind of a thing. But I just don't have anything like that. But yeah. That was last night. I didn't really have much else going on last night. Yesterday was partially Dragon Con stuff, and so was today, actually. Dragon Con just announced that they are doing, they put out some information about the event that's coming up. And they're like, yes, attendance is going to be capped. And we are running into the situation where we might sell out of badges. And my first thought was, if that happens, my department's dead. My department is dead in the water. I've seen those before. I've seen that where it's like, you want to get timed out for so long? Sure, we can time you out for so long. It's like, there's ways to do it, and it's just, I don't know. I just haven't, I guess I haven't put enough thought into it to think of good ways to use channel points besides the sounds. And at the moment they're low. I mean, if it got to a point where we had enough people in here who were spamming them constantly to become a problem, I just crank the numbers up so where it's more expensive to do it, or make it to where you can only do it so often. Right now, in theory, you could spam it, but there's not enough people in here to really spam it to a point where we get annoying. I'm hoping that tonight we don't get any support issues, because we gave them a recommendation. We gave the customer a recommendation of a thing to do. And we are hoping that that is enough work that they don't show up in the next, like, day or so. At least to get back to the point where we have, yeah, sacrifice for RNG luck is a pretty powerful thing. The RNG gods do appreciate your sacrifices. But no, like, if we, assuming they don't come back tonight, then we will have a nice stream. If they come back and they want a WebEx, I'm probably going to have to cut the stream super early. So I'm hoping we don't do that. I will say, one of the things I want to do before we start the stream tonight, I got this thing. I get my little, like, Japanese snack crates, and usually they come with a drink. This one is this one. It's like a fruit. It's like a citrus juice drink. I've had it chilling in the fridge like all afternoon. I don't know what fruits those are, but it's not bad. It's not exactly what I thought it was. If I was a little bit better with my kanji reading, I could probably tell what all of this shit says. But it's tasty enough. It's got like a little bit of lime. It's got just some citrusy in it. It's not that powerful tasting. It's good. I could probably do some research and like look up what was in it. But like even the crate, the description, all these snack crates come with a little card that tells you what's in the snack crate. This didn't have anything with it. This didn't have a description with it. So I'm like, oh, okay. I guess I'm just waiting. I might do some research later and figure out what this thing was. I got a break. But yeah. I don't think I have anything else. Kind of a short ramble for the beginning of this stream. But we should get into it. Because again, I gotta stop at midnight. I got like a hard cutoff at midnight in order to make sure I have enough time to wind down and get to sleep. So let's see where we're at. I know I'm starting early. Thank God my VODs are up. Like the pictures on it are like shaded like certain fruits, but they aren't like specific fruits listed. Ow, God. I wonder if I could. I bet you. Hang on a second. Hang on. Where's the little box? The little pack for it. If I can look this up. We can do that real quick. So this was. What is in this? That's not it. That's not it. That's not it.
Objection!
Hey, oi. I'm close enough. Hang on. Let's see here. I'm trying to find it. I can't find this specific bottle, which is what I was hoping to find. Okay. So this is the one where they talk about everything that's in it. This is the guy that's talking about. Oh, okay. It is a okay. So this is specifically shikuwasa, which is Okinawan lime. So it's it basically is just a lime drink. All right. Well, now I know. Yeah, apparently it's just Okinawan limes. Lime by itself is not my favorite drink, though. It's not bad. I'll drink all of it. I'm not going to not finish it. It's just not what I was hoping for. All right. So last time, we were in the middle of investigating with the kidnapping of the original president of Zhangfa, or the kidnapping of the president of the Zhangfa. We'll see where this goes, because the last time, so we were originally in the moment after the murder, and now we're at the moment of the kidnapping. Because as you can see, we got the original murder victim about to get clapped. We have the president of Zhangfa down here about to get grabbed. And we got the murderer up here doing stuff. Do y'all say anything different now that we're in this one? Okay, she says the same stuff. I mean, until it proved otherwise, it looks like everybody says all the same things. So let's look here. Okay, so we're examining this. First thing first, immediately, because I saw this like right away as soon as I understand what it was. About this snowman. When we were recreating the scene where Mr. Cameron was killed, it had already melted. Its scarf was all soggy and one of its button eyes was missing. Indeed, at this stage it appears most of its original form was still intact. Although, there's one spot that looks unnaturally lacking. Poor thing! I bet some naughty kid must have plucked it off. Although, from a thief's perspective, that kid does have some promise, and I just spit all over myself. This is going in circles. Mr. Sploosh Eyes is going crazy. Was it plucked off by one of the children at the orphanage? No, maybe. Taken by an entirely different person altogether. All right, so we are going to deduce this spot is the blood-stained button. I don't have my stuff set. Oh, I don't have my stuff set. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. That's Lada's. Actually, Lada's is like there. No pitch on that one, and then we still have our camera one in case we need it. This snowman, wouldn't you say it's missing something? Ah, its right eye is missing. Precisely. And what's more, that missing eye happens to be in our possession. The button that Mr. Cameron was holding on to. It's got the exact same design as the snowman's left eye. If we assume that this button was indeed the snowman's eye, a huge contradiction arises. If this button is the snowman's eye, what contradiction arises? It's the location of the victim. He can't be all the way up where he is at right now and be grabbing the button at the same time. The victim was holding onto the button. Furthermore, the button was stained with blood. In other words, he grabbed the button after he was attacked. For example, if we were to picture it in this way, after being struck in the back of the head, Mr. Cameron lost his balance. As he was falling, he reached his hand out towards the nearby snowman. However, he couldn't support his weight, and he collapsed while still grasping the button. Huh? Wait, but that means Mr. Cameron was near the snowman when he was attacked. Indeed. At the very least, he must have been within arm's reach. However, it does cause us a problem. It's quite clear that he would not have been able to reach it from his current position. Wait, but Mr. Cameron's footprints only lead towards the flower bed. Can we be certain that those footprints really are Mr. Cameron's? It seems we'll need to investigate one more time. Understood! I'll recreate the time the body was discovered scene one more time. I missed the beeps and the boops that she did when she punched things in. These footprints should match up Mr. Cameron should match up with Mr. Cameron's shoes, right? Well, let's inspect them again. These footprints, maybe Mr. Cameron's. Well, they're from size 11 shoes, and these huge footprints match up with Mr. Cameron's shoes. Well, no matter how you look at it, they're moving steadily towards the center of the flower beds. Mr. Cameron was attacked, he grabbed the button from the snowman. Even with a great thief's peak human conditioning, your arms just can't reach that far. Let alone an ordinary civilian, it'd be completely impossible. I wasn't just muted for a while, was I? I hope not. I can't tell. I don't think I was, but I can't tell. The footprints come from the shoes worn by the victim, just as the case files say. However, does that mean Mr. Cameron was the owner of these shoes? We should re-examine his shoes. Are you kidding me? His shoes don't look like they fit. Shoes match the footprint, however. These shoes seem like they were not the ones originally worn by the victim. Well, what do you mean? If you look closely, you'll see that the laces are tied up strangely. And the size doesn't seem to fit quite right either. Good to know. Sipping on some juice all night. I have another thing I wanted to try tonight, but I figured this thing would be a little bit better, and then I can try the other thing tomorrow. I got this thing. Oh, I'm taking time to show this off. I have this, it's like cafe au lait, but it's melon au lait. Which is like a melon coffee drink, which I'll probably give a shot. I got this thing, but these are Mega Pachi. These are just like big ass energy drinks. Energy drinks fuck me up. They don't work the way they're supposed to for me. And maybe it's just because I don't drink enough energy drinks that my body hasn't gotten used to it, but like I get headaches with energy drinks. So I just don't drink them. Give me good old caffeine. Fuck this energy drink shit. That would mean these huge footprints leading up to the victim's feet were most likely made by someone other than the victim. Wait, so then the footprints leading to them and from the victim's head must be Mr. Cameron's? No, not necessarily. They seem too small to be the victim's footprints. Wait, so none of the footprints are his? Well, then which way did Mr. Cameron walk from? It's quite simple. The victim did not walk here on his own accord, but rather, he was carried here after he was murdered by the culprit. The question now becomes, where was he killed and carried from? Perhaps it was near the snowman after all? I would think it would be near the snowman. Highly like he was killed near the snowman. I should take a closer look. All right, is there anything on here that we can look at? Is that a scarf? Is it like a bloody scarf? Or am I just looking at that really weirdly? The snowman has become a sad sight to look at. It can't be helped. Snow and ice both melt away with time. Just like the mysteries of the cases you've solved, Mr. Edgeworth. As time passes, those mysteries melt away while you continue to keep your cool. You do realize I'm racking my brain trying to solve those mysteries during the case, right? Huh? Oh! That's where the brick came from! Huh! There's a brick missing here! The rest are all in order. It's strange that only this one is missing. Is that the only thing I needed to examine here? All right, cool. That's big. I kept wondering where the hell they got this brick from, but it's like right there. Can I logic some stuff out? This has got to connect, right? The murder weapon is a brick, and we found where the brick came from. Perhaps the missing brick was the one used as the murder weapon. Well, that's a simple logic thing. Yeah, it seems to be just the right size to fit into the gap perfectly. Do we go with this? Does this work? It does. Okay. As I thought, it seems the murder actually occurred near the snowman. Both the button Mr. Cameron was holding on to and the murder weapon came from there. Indeed. Also, if we assume that the killer picked up the brick near the snowman and then tried to sneak up behind Mr. Cameron. Oh! Mr. Cameron totally would have seen the person picking up the brick. Exactly. Kay, please update the recreation. Mr. Cameron was not in the middle of the flower beds, but near the snowman. Kay, I'm on it! I think we need to go to... Which button is the one? That is. Let's change the recreation up to the other one. So you want to recreate the scene based on the police investigation data? This is the time the body was discovered, when the police were investigating the scene. Wait. I thought... Fuck. I didn't realize... I didn't realize we had swapped. I wasn't paying attention. I've recreated the scene. What kind of clusterfuck horse shit is happening over here? Well, no matter how you look at it, this is strange. All the people involved in the case are gathered at the same place. Did we make a mistake here or something? One piece of evidence in this recreation is based on is odd. I had to choose which piece of evidence is fake. Oh, wait a minute. Was the guy that got murdered by the thing, and then the president was being kidnapped in front of the orphanage? It's got to be this, right? Was this photo really taken by Mr. Cameron? Well, what do you mean? We have proven that whoever killed Mr. Cameron also moved the body. For what reason would they have to deliberately move his body? Perhaps the culprit wanted to falsify the scene that Mr. Cameron witnessed. Well, that's why they took a fake photo? They made the president stand under the streetlight and took a photo with Cameron's camera. It would have been quite simple. Oh, now that you mention it, Mr. Cameron's camera only had one photo on it, right? Indeed. In all likelihood, the original roll of film had been removed from the camera. And after loading in a new roll of film into the camera, the fake photo was taken. Oh, I see. So this photo must have been taken after Mr. Cameron was killed, right? Oh, body, please, no. All right. Yep. It's the wrong button. All right, I got that 30-second warning. I gotta go use the bathroom. So I will be right back. Enjoy the music. Stick around, and we will find out what else we can figure out about this case. All right, be right back. Hey, I'm back. Thank you for sticking with me through that break. When your body goes, time to go. You got 30 seconds. You fucking listen. And I did. So, you ready to get back to it? Let's get back to it. Exactly. This was not the scene Mr. Cameron actually witnessed. It's likely this photo is forged evidence. Well then, where did Mr. Cameron witness the president and his kidnapper? The photo isn't the only piece of evidence that indicates what Mr. Cameron witnessed. Ah, the testimony he left on the answering machine. Precisely. We should listen to the recording one more time and confirm what was said. Where else could the president and his kidnapper have been?
Take that!
They were the ones up there. They were over there? Well, what's the basis for this claim? Do I really need a basis for my claims? In other words, you don't know, do you? Wasn't there. Wait, okay. What did he say in his eyewitness testimony? Hang on. I was like just convinced of it already. I'm in front of the facility now, but something's not right. He's here of all places. What's more, the light just went off. I can barely see a thing. I'm in front of the facility.
Take that!
I'm very drastically confused. Over here? He said this on the answering machine. The light just went off. You can barely see a thing now. There are only 2 places here where the lights are broken. Oh, I thought he was talking specifically about his light. No, he was talking about the light near where the incident happened. The light by the orphanage. Okay. Could you please update the recreation? Roger.
This is the where the kidnapper was originally near the orphanage?
Indeed. With this, we've shown the connection between the orphanage and the kidnapping.
So that's why they moved the body and took a fake photo to create false testimony. Murder with any suspicion towards the orphanage in court.
With this, the state of the recreation has changed completely. The time the body was discovered has probably been greatly impacted as a result. Well, let's go check it out right away. Preparations are ready. The state of the recreation has changed once again. I should press the Y button and select change recreation. Let's give it a try. As if this is like the first time I've had to do this. I've recreated the scene. His body's like over here now. Originally, Mr. Cameron's body was here. In order to be consistent with the fake photo, he was moved to the center of the flower beds. Well, the footprints going back and forth from the body count. Wait, could they be? Oh yes, there's only one possibility at the moment. These footprints were probably left when the body was moved to the flower beds. Footprints here seem to lead to and from the body. Size 7 shoes. Okay, well, the first immediate thing is like the blood. Blood spatter above the snow. There's a substantial amount of it. Unless the murder was actually committed here. But Mr. Cameron should have been attacked near the snowman. Exactly. In that case, the blood must belong to someone else. Oh. Oh. Oh no. Oh no. Did the actual president die here? Did a bodyguard die here? What the fuck? What? But the police report said this was Mr. Cameron's blood. The one in charge of the case was Blaise Devaste. It would have been simple for him to falsify that information. But wouldn't it have been just faster to clean up the bloodstains rather than falsify the information? He wouldn't be able to do that. Think about it. Blaise knew that Mr. Cameron's body would be discovered here. In which case, the forensics department would naturally become involved. Ah! A luminol reaction! They discovered it with the power of science! Precisely. It would have been difficult to completely erase all traces of the blood. However, falsifying the results of a blood test would be much easier in comparison. You would just have to switch the results from the forensics report. Ah, what a bummer. No way those documents I read were falsified. It looks like Mr. Cameron's clothes were completely soaked in blood. If the blood scattered here got on Cameron's clothes, that would mean at the time, bloodstains here had not dried yet. I see, so this is certainly somebody's blood. It's gotta be, right? It was splattered here just a short while before Mr. Cameron was murdered. Indeed. Exactly right. However, if that's the case, wouldn't a new contradiction arise from the recreation? Well, then this... Wait, is there logic here? No logic here. Is there an organizer point that I can hit? Okay. A yellow flower's fallen here. It's called a lion lily. Indeed. Francesca told us earlier. Apparently it comes from Asia. Yep. In the language of flowers, I think it means the bond between partners in crime? The bond between a parent and child. This is a thing. This seems to be the only area without any snow. It must have been melted by the fire caused by the child at the orphanage. The disaster just keep coming for this orphanage. After the fire, multiple murders occurred. Wait, after the fire? If the snow had melted, wouldn't that mean... Is it the blood stain? Nope. All right. I might want to save just in case, because I've spent apparently a lot of health on this. A lot of health on this. A lot of health. Wait, so the snow was melted by the fire? We should keep that in mind when the exact fire started and take a closer look around the area. All right, I don't know if I have the information for this or not. Just so we don't have to redo all of that, like, aha, we've learned things. We've learned that the body he wasn't killed where we thought he was, and he was moved, and all this other stuff. There's something I'm not thinking about here. Got anything for me, Agent Lang? Nope. Got anything for me, Judge Courtney? Nope. I have a piece of evidence that does this? What am I not thinking of? Flower bed. According to the data, the facility has 3 gardens. And each one of these gardens contain 3 flower beds. Oh, okay, yeah. I thought it was like... There's something with the lion lilies, maybe? The only thing I think I can investigate here that is different is this place. Can't hit any of the shoes. We've already touched that. We've already touched that. It's not any of those. It's the blood stain. The fake ass blood stain. I don't know what is the thing I'm supposed to be aiming at here. I don't have any logic points. I don't have, oh, let me phrase it. I don't have any logic points that could be used here, I don't think. Right? These don't go together. These don't go together, right? There's no way. They do? Suppose that Blaze was one of the kidnappers. It becomes more likely that what he dug up yesterday is connected to the abduction. Ah! What is it? I figured it out. It was a treasure. Treasure! Couldn't Blaze have dug up the ransom money? The $100 million ransom? Buried in the garden ground until the heat had died down. Certainly possible. I know, right? Okay. Are we done? I won't rest until every spot has been examined, so there's something else here. Again, there's nothing. We've examined the flower, we've examined the burnt area, and we've examined the bloodstain. I want to hit that. Belonged to someone other than the victim. Didn't belong to Cameron, likely placed on his shoes after he had died. I legit don't know. What do they say about this again? The only area without snow must have melted by the fire caused by the child at the orphanage. Oh, how do I prove that? It's the bloodstain? No. How do I prove that? Because basically the evidence points to that the fire at the orphanage was caused after the murder. But how do I prove that? Do we present it on the bloodstain? Wait, is it here? Photo. I think how the hell we prove what the hell we're looking at, because like I'm like I know what they want. We're trying to prove that the body that whoever's blood this happens to be happened before the fire happened. Do I do it on? I get a different thing if I. So I guess the contradiction needs to arise with this. Okay. I don't know what happens here. I'm going to let this roll for a half second, and then I'm probably going to just smack the reset button. Is it just game over? Okay. I didn't know if there was going to be something specific about that. There is... I know what I have to hit. I think. All right, I understand where we're trying to go. I just don't think I understand how to get there yet. Oh, this is actually before the logic thing. So I gotta let this roll. And while that's happening, I can enjoy my lime drink. Deduce the flower or anything? I don't know. I'm actually gonna back out for a second. Also, hey tacos, how you doing? I'm just gonna save that progress so I don't have to keep doing it every time I fail here, because I feel like I'm just not putting it together the way the game wants me to put it together. What is set on the flower when I hit it? Is there anything? Is there anything to deduce? Did I already try this? What did I just get from the logic? We got the update that where did that just go? The update is that the monster's footprints, I'll even bring it up screen so you can see. Monster's footprints, the concrete is broken and the ground beneath them is exposed. Did Blaze dig up the ransom money? You have to do something with that based on the newest logic. That makes sense. You dig up the ransom money. How is that going to be? I don't know how that gets me past this. Like, to me, it's like, ah, yes, the murder happened before the fire. But I thought that's a, do we already know that as a thing? Brick say? The brick isn't actually anything. That's the thing that's so weird. The brick isn't an examine in this case. The three things I can examine in this area right now are the bloodstain, the burnt patch up here, and the flower. That's why it's just like, what? What do you mean? What do you mean it's any of the? It's only those three. The flower is just talking about the fact that it's a lion lily, that it comes from Asia, and that in the language of flowers, it means a bond between a parent and child. That's it. Which is why I'm like, what? Is this serious with the bloodstain? Oh, maybe this is it. I placed the body near the snowman. Now that he's gone, it feels a little lonely around here. It feels a little lonely around here. That's not a very proper way of putting it. If the body isn't here, we might be able to find some new clues. Let's thoroughly investigate this area. Aye, aye, Mr. Edgeworth. Okay, that was not the thing I was missing. Thank God. I'd have been super pissed if that was it. The flower isn't burnt? Maybe? Nah, that's not it. Like, to me, it's like you go to it's only on one side, but we don't have any way to pick the other side. That's the unfortunate thing. There's not actually a way to pick this. I don't think. Not yet, anyways. Huh. I'm so confused by this one. Because originally I had like 3 different things I was thinking of, and none of them have panned out. Wait. He didn't see a fire? Is there any testimony in the evidence? Bring up what we have. So this is all the relevant pieces of information for this section. The SS5 incident files, which mention about the president being captured, and nothing else. We have the autopsy report, where it says that he died instantly from being hit on the head with a brick. We have the testimony. It says he's right in front of the facility now. And again, there's no fire. So I'm like, what did he just see? We have this photo, which we have proved is fake and is staged after Cameron was killed. We know that because this blood-stained button comes from the eye of the snowman that you can kind of see, like, you see right here. That's where he grabbed it when he got hit. We have a piece of evidence that's prior to the incident, a child's prank caused a fire on the facility grounds. I swear I presented this to like both places, but like, is it just... I'm mad. I swear I presented that. All right, I'm getting my health back. Fuck you, game. It's the thing we've been trying to prove. But for some reason, I thought I had done that. I swore I've done a lot of things. It's very true. Because I'm racking my brain trying to keep track of everything I've done. And that's not always easy. And it's been proven time and time again that I have a shit memory. So, not bad juice. Like I said, lime isn't my favorite kind of juice, but it's not bad. This is a clear contradiction. Wait, huh? What, you mean this blood stain? You see, this blood stain is broken by the remains of the fire. This is proof that the fire occurred after the blood had scattered around the area. Huh? But I thought the fire occurred before the murder. I think that information is suspect as well. If the fire had broken out after the murder,
the child who started the fire should have seen the body of the bloodstains.
why then did they not come forward as a witness? It's likely that would put Blaze at a great disadvantage.
I guess we're gonna need to investigate this fire in a little more detail, huh, Mr. Prosecutor? Hey, you.
Yes, sir.
There should be some records of the fire in the police department under a different case file. I want you to bring me every last investigation report about the fire.
Understood, Shifu.
Oh, and one more thing.
What is it, sir?
Contact the House of Lang in Zhangfa. There should be evidence from this case in my old man's room.
What do you mean?
I just remembered why I recognized this scene. A long time ago, I saw a picture in my old man's room. It was a drawing resembling this scene.
Nani the fuck?
However, take a look at something a child drew.
Child? The artist may have been the culprit behind the fire.
It should still be somewhere in my old man's room. Have them send it over here.
Understood, sir. We're gonna be waiting here a while. Mostly full. I can deal with that. Shifu, I'm back. I brought the info on the fire. The kid started in a photo of your drawing, the photo of the drawing in your father's office. That was incredibly fast. Also,
Oh, I've been waiting for this. Hurry up and hand him over.
the information held by Agent Lang's father.
This is it. This is exactly what I remember.
This is a picture drawn by the child depicting the night of the incident. It sure looks like it was drawn with a child's touch. As I thought, the one who drew this is most likely the child who started the fire. Bam. Shifu!
What now? Sorry, but it's gonna have to wait. Hey, Mr. Prosecutor. Why do you think my old man had this?
Perhaps he obtained it during the course of his investigation into the incident. Although I don't know why he would have concealed it. Agent Lang, might I be able to see the details of the fire?
Yeah, sure. Here you go.
Let me to read it post haste. What do we got? The boy who started the fire snuck out of bed on the night of the incident. I think this boy went missing several days later.
Wait, what? Don't tell me he witnessed something he shouldn't have.
Well, that's horrible. He was only a child after all. While I'd hate for that to be the case, we can't rule out the possibility entirely.
Huh? Apparently the boy left some stuff behind at the orphanage and was taking his evidence. What's this?
That's... What is it doing here?
Huh? Mr. Prosecutor, do you recognize this?
Yes, I know one piece of evidence that's related to it. Which piece of evidence is related to what the boy left behind? Where is that doll? Where is that boy?
Take that!
I went, I think, like the most screens possible to get to that. I don't know what it's doing here. But isn't that the missing horn from this Mozilla doll?
No way. What do you mean? This came off the president's?
You know of it?
Yeah. I noticed the president kept it close by as a decoration. I always thought it was strange how one of the horns was missing.
Oh. If you twist the horn, this doll will play back any previously recorded audio. So we put the missing horn back in its place. We might be able to hear a different recording. Indeed. It's possible the doll is currently on the 50... The doll is currently on the 51st floor of the Grand Tower. Hey.
Hey, you heard that, right?
Yes, sir. I'll be right back. Oh my god, there's a lot of evidence in here. Shifu, I've got it. The mighty Mozilla doll.
Well done. Give it to the prosecutor over there.
We insert this horn found at the orphanage into the doll. It's a perfect fit.
Well, can you hear anything?
Mr. Hong, it's Amy. It's been a while. I saw the news that you would be coming to this country. I was really nervous about you doing this, but I decided to send you a message. What?
Please stop the playback.
Judge Courtney? Wait, what's wrong?
Stop it now.
Is it not actually her kid? It's a boy, your son. He's just been born. I'm sorry, that's all I wanted to tell you. His name is John. John Marsh. It's a fine name for him, don't you think? It wasn't exactly.
Your child. I was like,
Okay. Marsh?
Did she say John?
I'll be waiting in the courtyard of the orphanage at midnight on February 9th. Even if it's just once. want John to be able to meet you. I'm sorry if I'm being selfish, but I'll be waiting. Oh, fuck, what did I have for his voice?
Oh, we were using this one. Okay. No way, that was mine.
John,
What is the meaning of this, Miss Courtney?
John is not my biological son. He's adopted.
Did John know about this?
Of course he knew. John's mother, Amy Marsh, passed away about 5 years ago.
Oh.
Oh, okay. Things are starting to fall a bit more in place now. Bit more in place. John over here might be the fucking legitimate heir over here to the fucking, like, the entirety of Zhang Fa. He might be the president's son of some kind. What in the fuck is happening?
She and I were cousins. Since we were young, we've always been really close. We were often mistaken for sisters. That's why when she passed away, it was only natural that I look after John. Also, there were circumstances which prevented me from revealing his father's identity. Never even told John his father's name.
Here we go, folks. This is about to get weird.
Now it's all been revealed thanks to the recording on that doll. Did John's mother send the doll to the president?
Hey,
John,
was he the president? Really my dad?
yes, he was. Before you were born, Amy worked as a diplomat in Zhang Fa.
Oh, that would have been big to know. So that's must how she became acquainted with President Huang.
Hang on, didn't you tell me she worked at the orphanage?
Yes. That was a very odd noise. After returning to this country, Amy left her job as a diplomat. She's always had a great passion for charity work. She began working at the orphanage.
Hey, Miss Courtney. So this Amy girl, she called the president there herself, but she never showed up at the scene of the SS5 incident. What's with that?
Amy couldn't make it. Apparently, someone had been following her the whole night.
Perhaps it was Blaze? I can't say for certain, but it's possible that this was his doing.
After that, Amy never got another chance to see the president again.
She died 5 years ago. This conversation must be kind of painful for John. Oh, right. Hey, John, you thirsty? How about I buy us both some juice? And go get it together. I want to actually crank him up a little bit. I'm a part of this too. I'll listen to the end. Besides, I can afford to buy my own juice, probably unlike you. Oh, shot down by a kid. That's not a good feeling.
John, you understand the reason I met with the president 2 days ago?
The secret meeting from 2 nights ago.
I wanted to tell him about Amy's death and that you were alive and well.
But I
see. That's why you couldn't tell us your reasons for meeting with the president until now. I get it. She would have had to reveal his connection with John.
I brought him a bouquet of lion lilies. So that he would understand truly I did know about Amy. Those flowers were a dear memory to the president and Amy. The first present she ever received from the president was a bouquet of lion lilies. But now, even he has passed away. If only he were still alive. Perhaps I could have introduced him to John.
Shifu, I'm sorry to interrupt this atmosphere, but there's something I need to say.
Oh, what is it now? Can't he wait? We're kind of at the good spot here. We're learning stuff.
Well, actually, there's one last item that's been delivered here from Zhang-Fa. I have here the president's will.
Wait, what?
The president's will?
My old man received a great number of special medals from the president himself. As a token of his trust, the president left his will in the protection of the Lang clan. That's right, you did say that a while ago. Those medals and that will, they're the pride of our clan, our family treasure, so to speak.
God damn, we saw that a long time ago.
This is...
Agent Lang, does that will have something to do with the current case?
You bet your ass it does. It says here, I hereby acknowledge John Marsh as my own son.
Wait, what? John's name is in the president's will?
Are you certain that this was written by the president?
Yeah. He entrusted it to the Lang clan even before the SS-5 incident took place. They'll have to appraise it back home, but by the name of the Lang clan, this is the real deal.
Dijun Huang was the president of an entire nation. The existence of his son would have caused considerable controversy. However, he left behind a will, and just in case.
This makes it doubly sure. I can't believe it myself, but there's no room for doubt. John Marsh, you are the son of Dijun Huang, president of Zhang-Fa. So then what does that change?
What does that actually change for us? This is a big ass reveal. But what does that change in this case? Besides the fact that he's kind of important and you probably want to protect his ass?
John!
John, wait! What is that gonna do? April 6th, 4:51 p.m. outside Grand Tower, temporary film lot.
John.
So that guy was my dad.
He found out about his own birth rapidly, suddenly. You lose a kid, apparently? Yeah, apparently. And furthermore, his newfound father is no longer in this world.
I'd always been searching for my dad.
John.
I get it, alright? He's the president. I know it's a complicated situation, but we even met face to face during the filming. So then why, huh? Why didn't he tell me who he really was?
I'm sorry, John.
Mom, you don't need to apologize. No matter how you look at it, it's my fault. Yesterday I broke my promise with you and didn't even notice the fire on the roof. So I destroyed everything. I crushed it all.
Oh, God. Wow. That's what makes this even worse. I forgot about that fact. We are currently on the basis that, he killed his own dad. Ugh. Oh, that's, I kinda forgot about that. Yeah, that's a little bit bad. That's actually, it's not just a little bit bad, that's actually pretty bad. Oh boy.
My dad and those flowers that Mom carefully grew.
John, please, for now, just don't think about anything. Just stay like this for a little while. Just for a little while, okay?
The bond between a parent and child, huh? It's the meaning behind lion lilies. I know it's not my style, but that flower is from Zhang-Fa.
However, we have no means of protecting that bond.
Agent Lang, allow me... Whoops.
Allow me to say this. The case won't be solved by sentimentality alone. Therefore, shouldn't we do all that we can to solve it?
Yeah, you're right.
The recreation of the past has finished. Were your father's deductions correct?
My old man took these deductions to his grave. He never told anybody about them. So who knows if they were right or wrong?
Well, in that case, how about your own deductions? I would like to hear what happened, what you think happened based on the recreation, in order for us to get closer to the truth of 12 years ago.
Yeah, I was thinking it's about time. I can't see it now. My old man's back. Real close. I'll catch up to him for sure. To the truth that my old man uncovered. There's no mistaking that the president went to the orphanage. This stuff totally is proof of that. He was planning to meet with Amy Marsh. However, the president was kidnapped, and Cameron just happened to witness it. If Cameron hadn't been there, it probably would have just been a kidnapping with no murder. Afterwards, the body was moved to the flower beds, and a fake photo was taken.
Is that really what happened 12 years ago?
However, there's one thing I just don't get.
Something he doesn't get? What could that be?
It's this. Why did they need to take a fake photo? Why would they go through all that trouble to even make the president take part in the photo?
That's true. However, the answer to that riddle must lie somewhere within. Once we get past the layers upon layers of deductions, we shall surely reach it.
Yeah, that's right. I'd like to hear your deductions as well.
Alright, let's talk to him. Give me that good juice. Agent Lang, I'd like to verify a few things that may have seemed obvious at first glance. Are we certain that the president actually went to the orphanage?
Okay, I get it. You're saying you want proof.
Everyone's always demanding proof from Mr. Edgeworth, after all. I don't have to tell him that. He doesn't need to know that at all. Like, seriously. You don't even need to tell me you usually demand proof from me. Don't do that. You mean the stuffed animal, the one with the recording device?
That's right. Inside that toy was a recording from John's birth mother, Amy Marsh.
Indeed. That she would meet him at midnight. Wow, you two are perfectly in sync. The truth's becoming clear, like you're peeling the layers off a scallion. Okay. Scallion doesn't have anything on the inside. Please don't make such a foreboding analogies. Oh. Well, shit. The truth is becoming clear, like you're peeling off the skin of a wolf.
Can you stop making such foreboding analogies? Let's just get back on track.
Hold it!
I'd also like to verify the details of this point as much as possible. Mr. Cameron witnessed the president and his kidnapper near the orphanage. And Mr. Cameron was standing by the snowman near the road.
Then the murderer picked up a brick and snuck up on him from behind him. Wham! Ah!
Okay. So we're verifying what actually transpired. There's no need to be scared. But it was so intense! How the details from this case just vanished from my brain. Mr. Edgeworth, Mr. Lang, let's carefully verify all the facts of this case.
Yeesh. Well, if you're gonna listen, I want you to tell. I want to talk. I'll talk as much as you want.
This is a very weird one. This is not a normal, like, we are trying to find a contradiction. I guess we are trying to find a contradiction, but we're trying to find a contradiction that neither of us really realized based on the evidence after going over all the facts again. God, I fucking hate the shit in my room right now. I don't think there's anything in the trap because I literally just replaced it. super big, but hell, I'm about to go replace that trap, the trap I just made, with the one in the bathroom that's been like wildly fucking successful. I don't know what it is in my room that is attracting fruit flies. Little gnats. And maybe they'll go away in the next day or so, because I cleaned the shit off my desk. I cleaned the hell out of my desk today. Like, not only did I dust it off, I took Clorox wipes and just wiped the entire surface of it down, which I haven't done in a while. But I'm just like, what in the world are they even getting at? What in the world is happening here? It's very annoying with these little bastards.
Hold it.
If he hadn't been there, you say? That's an interesting theory. Care to explain in more detail?
It's simple. Cameron was killed because he saw the kidnapping. The kidnapping itself was a success. If he hadn't been there, no blood would have been spilled.
Blood would have been spilled, huh? You make it sound like it was his own fault. It was his own fault for being there. Okay, that's not it. What Agent Lang is trying to say is simply, besides Mr. Cameron, there was no other casualties at the crime scene. Oh, was that it? Of course, that's obvious. The president was kidnapped, but once the ransom money was paid, he was returned safe and sound. Seems like an obvious point. However, something about it bothers me. I may need to reevaluate the evidence once more.
You done explaining things to your assistant? I still got at least one thing to confirm.
Hold it.
That's also an important point. I'd like to take another good, clean look at the information.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Let's start with what Cameron saw before he was murdered. Cameron witnessed the president and the kidnappers in front of the orphanage.
However, the culprit wanted to conceal the connection between the incident and the orphanage.
That's right. That's why Cameron's original roll of film was disposed of. And a fake photo was taken with them standing outside the grounds of the orphanage.
Yes, and Cameron's body was then moved to match the photo.
It's finally becoming clear. The secret that was buried in the snow for 12 years.
Is the truth of the SS5 incident? Mr. Edgeworth, what's the matter? There's still something hidden behind this case. Huh? What do you mean? There's a piece of evidence that cannot be explained by Agent Lang's theory. As long as there is a contradiction, we'll have to present it in order to advance our reasoning. Okay. I think it's the child drawing here. I legit think it's the child drawing. Oh God, I just realized what the fuck I'm looking at. Holy shit. I didn't take a good long look at this yet. Oh my God. What the fuck? Our assassin dude. That's the blind fucking assassin. Dogan. That's Dogan. That's his knife. That's the bells on the knife. That's his fucking dog. What happened? I'm almost convinced it's the photo at this point. But how do we prove that. I don't know how I never noticed that. I guess I didn't look at the photo long enough to realize what the hell I was staring at. Okay. The president was kidnapped and Cameron just happened to witness it. Huh? It pinged me? What the fuck? Okay. You know what? I need to start populating that Discord with shit. What did the previous statements say? All right. Give me a sec. Let me jump over here. The stuffed toy is proof that he was planning to meet with Amy Marsh. Is there anything on that stuffed toy? Doesn't say anything specific on there. The president was kidnapped and Cameron just happened to witness it. Wait, no. Hang on. No. I was going to say wait. I don't think Cameron was there by chance. You're gonna have to give me a sec to get to it because Agent Lang's being a bit of a bitch. Everything else on there. Been lucky tonight. There's been no support leads, no support lead questions, no support lead stuff. That definitely wasn't a support lead email, so we don't got to worry about that notification. I know who I'm up against. I'm just trying to think of like how to get around this. So what you're saying is, if Cameron hadn't been there, it probably would have just been a murder, a kidnapping with no murder. Is this where we present it? Because I feel like now that I've looked at it, like now that I've looked at it, I'm kind of obsessed with this idea that Cameron wasn't there for a murder. Cameron didn't just happen to be there. He was there for a reason. Something was going to happen. I'm going for it. Okay. I gotta try the piece of evidence on the 3 pieces that I think would make sense. Because to me, it's like clearly he's going to be there for a reason. Okay, fine. Well, we're gonna save so I can stop hemorrhaging life at some point. And on the off chance that I just don't get it right away. Oh God. Cameron's a reporter. Was he there by chance or on a lead? That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking Cameron knew. Because it sounds like... It honestly sounds like, from the conversation we have... I'll bring up the tape. Jill, are you asleep already? I'm in front of the facility now. That is the thing that is making me go, why would he be in front of the facility now? That alone, instead of going, hey, I'm in front of the orphanage like over in this area, he specifically talks about it as if they had already discussed that he was going to this place. So that's what's making me think that, but I don't know how to point that out to him yet, let alone if he's going to care about it. The picture shows what I can only describe as Dogen assaulting the president. Yeah, I'm trying to, like, that's gotta be what it is, right? How do we prove that there was 2 casualties? Maybe the oh, wait, hang on. Is that it? Does it have a thing on it?
Objection!
That's gotta be it, like, I think I was focused too much on what the other thing could have been. On like what the other... I think I'm too far along in the thought train. This happens all the time in Ace Attorney. I feel like, and this might just be me doing this, but I feel like I get ahead of where the game wants me to go way earlier than it wants me to. So like, I'm like, okay, I need to present this thing, but but they're like, you need to tell me about this before we can even get along on the train. I think Dogen is part of it. And I think that's the thing that we've been trying to get at this entire time, is that Dogen and Warden Roland and Blaze were all in it together. And even though Dogen got caught, it was the Warden that was helping him get stuff. Like, I'm legit starting to think that it was all 3 of them working together. I don't know if I have the evidence for this yet, but I was thinking with this that when he's like, that nothing else would have happened if it had just been if Cameron hadn't been there, it would have just been this. Is like, no, it sounds like there was about to be something else, because I thought Cameron was doing and not that something else had already happened. I hate those like really like deep burps. I hate those ones. Is that really the case?
The criminal's goal was only to kidnap the president. If there were no witnesses, there would have been no need to commit murder, right?
What if Cameron wasn't the only one who was murdered? There was a large blood stain near the flower beds. However, Cameron was murdered near the snowman. Ergo, this blood stain could not have belonged to Cameron. Someone else's blood was spilled, and quite a vast amount of that.
Hey, Mr. Prosecutor, do you have any idea what you're saying?
I do. It's hard to believe. However, that is what the evidence indicates. On that night, 12 years ago, there were 2 murders.
Wait, are you saying the other murder was covered up? Who the heck could have been killed?
Oh, we're about to say it. A murder that was cleverly concealed. All traces of it were erased, and the incident itself was completely deleted from the case files. However, there is one thing, one piece of evidence that still remains intact after 12 years. This piece of evidence shows that something happened that night. Hello, drawings. The other murder incident was buried in the dark by Blaise Devaste. However, there was still one piece of evidence that remains. Agent Lang, it survived by your father's hands.
My old man, you say, huh?
Please recall. There was one more thing that was hidden along with the traces of the murder. And that is the existence of the boy who caused the fire. Why did Blaise make the boy disappear? It's because he saw something that he wasn't supposed to see. What was the thing he wasn't supposed to see? Everything is drawn in this picture.
The drawing my old man had.
The person on the right in this drawing is most likely the president. The Mozilla doll is also drawn near him. The person standing opposite him is... Where's he at? Where is that boy at?
Take that!
I saw this a little bit ago when I looked at the photo and I'm like, oh my god, how did I not notice this? The man with a knife and a large black dog. He is none other than Sirhan Dogan. Wait, what? The assassin? Why would an assassin appear before a president? The answer is clear. Indeed, what occurred that night on the orphanage ground 12 years ago was not a kidnapping. It was a presidential assassination. Well then, Miss Rowland and Mr. Blaise were... Yes, the two were likely partners in crime. One furnished the orphanage to use as the scene of the incident, and the other covered up the young boy's testimony. It's likely that Mr. Cameron was murdered because he witnessed the assassination itself. After all, the kidnapping never actually happened.
Stop messing around. You're saying the president was assassinated 12 years ago? Then who the hell was this? We just found his body today. He's been alive up until now.
Wait, that's right. I mean, we met him ourselves. If the president was assassinated 12 years ago and the president's body was found today, that would imply there were 2 presidents. Well, yeah, I mean, and that can't be right. Are you sure about that? There's the possibility that there were 2 presidents. We've been thinking about this logic for a while because somebody pointed it out and it was a very good point to bring up a while ago. The body here doesn't match the president that we met in the thing. Because we saw when we met him in the plane that he would let his gut out and he would not exactly match up. This guy's body looks too perfect. So I'm wondering what the fuck happened. I've been thinking body doubles for a while, but up until now I've been getting a strange feeling from the president.
Even so, I still respect the man. Zhengfa is a small country, but he carried the nation with his strength.
The image of President Huang that Agent Lang described. don't even remember what I did for his voice. He killed his true friend. He differs far too greatly from the President Huang we knew. It's as if they were two entirely different people. As if there were, in fact, two Zhang-Fa presidents. Exactly how would such a scenario be possible? What would make the existence of two presidents possible? We've been saying this for a while. There was a body double. If we were to assume that one of them was a body double, wouldn't it be possible then?
A body double?
President Huang possessed immense power and authority in Zhang-Fa. I'm sure there were those who envied his position and made attempts on his life. Yes, just as he was attacked a few days ago at Gourd Lake.
Okay, it's true that there were those who sought Huang's life from time to time. But I can't easily believe that there were two presidents. At least not without any evidence.
Do I have evidence that proves there were two presidents? What do I have that presents two things? Let me think about this for a second. Hang on. The incident files, do we have anything for this? Wait. He was in the embassy until midnight? Hang on. That clock says midnight. Has Agent Lang not noticed the contradiction yet? Or has he noticed it but can't admit it?
What is it, Mr. Prosecutor? Don't shout something out only to suddenly clam up. Come on now.
According to the recording on the doll, the president visited the orphanage at midnight. However, it should not have been possible. Wait, what? Why is that? Why? Because at the time, the president should have been at the embassy. He was together with Agent Lang's father. So he did notice. He was in two places at the same time, ergo there must have been two presidents.
Wait, and which of the two was the real president on that day 12 years ago?
Most likely the one who died.
Who? Who contracted Dogen to murder Huang?
In order to learn that first, we must have a look at the evidence that we proved was false earlier. And that piece of evidence we know to be false is...
Take that!
Photo, right? The photo was taken with Cameron's camera. The photo taken with Cameron's camera was taken after he was murdered. And he was murdered because he witnessed the presidential assassination. In other words, the photo must have been taken following the assassination. Given that, who's the president pictured in the fake photo? We must consider him to be the body double. Wait. Oh, because this would have happened like a while afterwards. They probably got the body double to okay. In other words, the body double had the real president murdered and then took his place. Oh, whoops. Lang said that. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, well. Patricia Rowland and Blaze must have cooperated in that plan.
Hold it. Huang's body was never found. Just where could it have disappeared to? Oh, God. That's what he dug up.
The answer to that is already quite apparent. This is where the real president's body was.
Take that!
Last night, there was something Blaze had to unearth with his own 2 hands. The item was not the ransom. Something far more important. Ah! Wait, so Blaze unburied the real president's body. The possibility is quite high.
Wait, what did you say?
The bones from the body buried 12 years ago would have still remained. According to Mr. Powers, the construction was to begin on this lot. It was to begin soon at this lot. That was the deadline, both for the movie and the retrieval of the body. Well, because they would have found the body when they started the construction. Agent Lang, let us search the footprints that Blaze dug up.
Yeah. That body was buried there. There'd be traces of it. Hey, somebody call forensics.
I have the results of the search. We found traces in the dirt that suggest a body had been buried there.
So it was Huang after all.
We also recovered the skeletal remains that Blaise Devaste dug up. They were in his home. In addition to the bone structure, the dental records and the bone fractures all match up. We can confirm that it was indeed President Huang. Wait, so the body double got killed? Okay, we were right about that. This was the body double, but why did he look so good? Why did he look so fucking muscular? That doesn't look right. I was gonna say there's no way, because I was gonna be like, there's no way the body was dead for underground for 12 years and wasn't just like a pile of bones. Anyways, the real President Huang was indeed killed 12 years ago. This SS5 incident was a murder. So wait, the SS5 incident was actually a murder incident? Oh, there's so much information, but it's way too confusing. Indeed, let's take this opportunity to review the details of the case. First, the real president came to the orphanage, right? 12 years ago, the true President Huang visited the orphanage in order to meet his son. The footsteps in the show that we thought belonged to Mr. Cameron were most likely made by the president at the time. President Huang was supposed to meet his son here. However, the one who actually showed up was the assassin, Sirhan Dogan. He came here to meet his son, but was murdered instead. How horrible! A man like Dogan shows no mercy. And after that, the second tragedy occurred. You mean Mr. Cameron's murder? Indeed, Mr. Cameron saw the decisive moment. After the real president was killed by Dogan, his body was carried to the court. Oh, that's what he saw. Okay. His body was carried to the rear courtyard by the team of kidnappers. Mr. Cameron must have witnessed that moment from the orphanage entrance. Although he himself believed that he had actually witnessed the kidnapping. Furthermore, by this time, the body double, who had come to meet up with Blaze and Miss Rowland, was already standing behind Mr. Cameron. Thwack. And then the witness to the incident, Mr. Cameron, was killed by the body double. So was Mr. Cameron's corpse also carried by the body double? Yeah, seems likely. But wait, there wasn't anything at the crime scene that looked like the body double's footprints. I've already figured out how he accomplished that. It's a piece of evidence that would have made it possible. What did the body double use to move the body without leaving any footprints? Huh? Wait, did he specifically step over Dogen's own footprint, or Mr. Cameron's own footprints, and then put the shoes on him so it looks like Cameron made those steps?
Take that!
This is almost certainly how the body double carried Mr. Cameron's corpse. After Mr. Cameron was killed, the president's body double carried him into the middle of the garden. I suspect the body double, wearing the same shoes as the real president at the time, or was wearing the same shoes as the president at the time, if you made sure to step precisely on the top of the footprints left by the real president. Ah, since the shoes were the same, there would only be one set of footprints left behind in the snow. I think I've got a pretty good grasp on the SS5 incident now, but there's still one thing I don't get. What's that? Why did they need to stage the abduction? Because Mr. Cameron witnessed the incident. So the president of the orphanage. He left behind witnesses on testimony. He left behind witness testimony in Miss Crane's answering machine. Even Blaze couldn't make that disappear. Ergo, the body double needed a reason for the president to have been at the orphanage. And that's why they prepared a fake kidnapping charade. The people in this fake photo are the body double and most likely Patricia Rowland. The person in the coat is Miss Rowland. What makes you say that? The two would have to leave the orphanage in order to take the picture. Just like when you move the body, the double used the real president's footprints. Ah, so the second set of footprints must belong to the person in the coat. Indeed, we originally believed those footprints belonged to Cameron's killer. Size 7 footprints, too small for Blaze's feet. Thus, we can presume that the person playing the part of the kidnapper was Patricia Rowland. Hidden in the shadow of the presidential kidnapping was a presidential assassination.
I see. So that's what my old man...
Why he... What?
The old man must have realized that a murder had taken place. After all, he had the kid's drawing.
However, that picture was never presented as evidence.
Your father likely took it from the young witness during the investigation and hid it.
He had to have known that Huang was dead. But what if he had revealed that back then?
Reveal the death of the president? The backbone of Zhang Fa? It would have caused chaos.
And that's why my old man took the secret to his grave. He even took the blame for the kidnapping, knowing that it would be the fall of the House of Lang.
This is the truth that Agent Lang's father hid 12 years ago. And now it's all become clear. But what does that do for us right now? Who is saying that? Who the fuck is saying this? Is that really the case, I wonder? Who is saying this? Is that Blaze? Did Blaze fucking get out? Why is it Dogen? Uh-oh. Well, I know roughly how to do his voice again. Bell, it's... Someone about to get murked? What are you doing here, Sirhan Dogen?
Wait, why are you here?
How can you just brazenly show up here? Who do you think you are, pal?
I found the conversation most intriguing, and I just, well...
Are you feeling nostalgic about an old murder of yours?
You're the one who killed Huang. Nostalgia? I think not. You were speaking about the person I am searching for.
You're searching for someone?
I escaped from prison in order to meet with a young acolyte. The one who wore the red raincoat.
Wait, the red raincoat? Wait, who is this person?
I suspect that it is the same person as the mastermind you are searching for.
do y'all have to have too many goddamn voices?
All right, I'm just gonna fucking. I'm gonna send it.
Someone you've been searching for, the one in the red hood.
Red Hood?
Don't they seem surprised, Anubis? Yes, yes, they are, my boy. That's a good boy. 12 years ago, this young acolyte saved my life. What is going on?
Admittedly, I was confused as to where we were going with this case. I didn't know what the fuck was about to happen. I'm like, okay, so we're resolving this. We're resolving that the fact that the president was murdered and the guy that got murdered today is his body double. Okay. Where do we go from here? Clearly it's this, but like, what the fuck? Okay, hang on. All right. Before we do the testimony of Dogen, I need to take a quick break. All right. I'm gonna just stand up, stretch, go use the bathroom, do all that stuff. Probably gonna be the last break of the night, because I'm gonna have to end early tonight, because again I'm on support lead. So enjoy the music. Be right back, and then we're gonna hear what the hell's going on with Dogen. All right. Be right back.
のないこんな夜は騒ぎ出す夜更け前またとないこの時をいたずらにかき回す柵を越え選定一生屋上でバカ笑い落書きに残す影逃げ切れば結果オーライ3人へ差し込む光あの誓った言葉目が覚めるような声で揺さぶってほしい次はないそんな時に痛いくらい抜け目だらけ意味のない涙とか時々はいいんじゃない壊れても心配無用いつの間にか元通り先行き不安 Don't worry Cause that's the way my life goes いつか笑ってみせる雲見空の下から叫ぶ言葉を探し今日もまだ旅の途中壊れても心配無用いつの間にか元通り先行き不安 Don't worry Cause that's the way my life goes 3人へ差し込む光あの誓った言葉目が覚めるような声で揺さぶってほしいいつか笑って
Hey, sorry about that. Longer than expected break. Yeah, I wasn't expecting to have really anybody out there at the time when I walked out, but roommate was out there. And we had a conversation about like a bunch of different stuff out there, like general plans for the cats, sort of like planning a little bit where things are going to go for the cats, making plans to take off cardboard. We've got a giant stack of cardboard that needs to be taken off, and usually we use my car for it. I think because my car might have the biggest trunk out of all three of our cars. I'd have to double check that. But just need a plan for doing that. It's simple enough. We just need to do it. And then the cats were interested in coming in and saying hi, so I got the door cracked for them. I actually probably cracked it a little bit less than what I got right now. I've started leaving my door open at night for my cat, or for the cats in the apartment, so they can come in and say hi. I don't know if Stormy, the smaller one, has come in, but I know Woody has come in, because he's come in and like meowed a couple times, like he's looking for Stormy and he can't find Stormy, and I don't know if she's in the room or not because I'm asleep. So, but I have heard her say something. So either way, all right, let's get back to Dogen and doing his thing. Oh, I am clicked on this. What? Oh, I locked the keyboard. Oh. Well, enjoy the kitten. Kittens are an absolute mountain of work, and my roommate does an incredible amount for them. But they're great to have around the apartment, especially when they're being like calm. Because we have two cats. When they're chasing each other around the apartment, they start to get kind of crazy. But
either way, certainly, it was I who killed President Huang. However, my life was also targeted on that day. The body double, Blaze, and Patricia all sought to seal my lips. Had I not been reunited with the young acolyte back then, I would have been in danger. But alas, even to this day, I do not know what has become of the young acolyte.
So your client was indeed the body double who was the main perpetrator of the crime?
It was a long time ago, but I remember his words even now.
There have been countless attempts on my life. Not just once or twice, countless. And yet, why must I be the only one to face danger? When I stand before the people, I garner the same respect as the president. Tell me, just what is the difference between me and him?
The difference was great. While the voice and style of speech may be the same, one can mimic the body, but the heart cannot be reproduced.
I suppose his own weakness cost him in his quest to become leader. Very familiar. Perhaps the king and the knight were not so different after all.
The double believed that the president's only weakness was a woman called Amy. To find the woman, he needed the assistance of someone from this country.
So he joined forces with Blaze?
After determining her whereabouts, he simply waited for the right opportunity.
Well, that chance came with the meeting at the orphanage.
Indeed, the director of the orphanage was bribed and brought in as an accomplice.
You must be referring to Patricia Rowland.
Well, given what I've told you, do you realize the whereabouts of the young acolyte now?
I mean the boy who saved you. But how do you know that he's the mastermind?
That day, the young one caused a fire at the garden of the orphanage.
Oh wait, you're talking about the kid who started the fire as a prank?
A prank? Not at all. On that night 12 years ago, the young acolyte was hidden inside the igloo. Oh. It seems he witnessed Patricia and Blaze moving the body from his hiding place. Apparently, he heard them talking during that time. It seemed they were planning to kill me because I knew the truth. He immediately came to the main hall to tell me that. I learned this about the young acolyte sometime later. Seems he was wearing a red raincoat at the time. He led me out of the main hall. And then, the young acolyte said he was going to get rid of our footprints. So he scattered some lamp oil near the igloo over the snow. And then he boldly set the oil ablaze.
Oh, no way! He set the fire in order to...
All their focus was diverted toward the burning flames. I took the opportunity to escape through the rear exit.
This is why Patricia was so fucking fascinated, so fixated on finding Dogen's, his henchmen, his people. This is why she was so fascinated by it. Because she knew that someone led Dogen away. So the boy in the red raincoat is the mastermind behind this case?
Oh, exactly. Isn't that right, Anubis? Yes, boy. Yes, it is. How do we prove who that is? Who could that even be at this point?
Fuck. You admitted that rather easily.
These days I have long grown tired of killing. But in those halcyon days, I devoted myself to the path of an executioner. If one cannot admit that much, what can he admit? Right, Anubis? Yes, my boy.
I feel like he's saying something scary, but it's kind of hard to understand him. This fallen priest is saying that he has no feelings about the president's death. Dogen, the assassin and escaped prisoner, he should be a despicable opponent, but silencing him now would be imprudent. I must keep my composure and let him talk. I understand your point. You killed the president.
That is correct. The aim of my blade never misses its mark.
Your life was targeted. You, the assassin. The hunter becomes the hunted. The Buddhist becomes the Buddha. Okay, that you don't have to make up strange proverbs. Just don't.
Life is transient, especially for an assassin whose life is always exposed to danger.
So does this mean people you've tried to kill have fought back?
Well, that is a rare occurrence. However, this was different.
Sirhan Dogen, you're a master assassin. As such, could you not have evaded an attack from those three and fled the scene?
You greatly overestimate me. Without Anubis by my side, I would not even be able to walk about. If those three were to attack me at once, I would not stand a chance.
Oh. So an assassin will fall to superior numbers in a frontal assault.
I suppose one could say that. I, Sirhan Dogen, would have suffered a shameful defeat.
Oh, the fact that this motherfucker is on screen should give you a lot of idea that, shit's gone down. He has shown back up, and, things have happened, Chthonic One. Things have happened! Oh god! I don't even know how to explain everything that's happened. It's a lot. Let's just say that a theory that we talked about earlier was kind of right. There's a lot of shit's happened. A lot. You're really not even an acolyte. So when did you first meet with this acolyte? he wasn't the one in the red raincoat. So we are specifically the moment talking about an acolyte of his. The acolyte is the one that was in the red raincoat. I don't think so. Could have been his dog, but don't think so. Whoever this, so the thing he's claiming is that at some point after his job was done, no, I don't think it's the acolyte, because the acolyte's not here right now. That would be just whoops.
That would be 18 years ago on the 24th of December.
It's a rather long time ago.
On that day, our roles were reversed. I saved the young one's life. There was an unusual snowstorm on that day. The temperature was well below freezing. I took Anubis for a walk in the snow. That's when Anubis noticed something and started running. I followed after him and found a car. He had great difficulty opening the door. It had frozen shut. Oh my god!
Oh, I know who these two are. So, we were right. There was a body double. The thing that we were talking about last time, where we were investigating this presidential kidnapping, was actually the original president being assassinated by Dogen. The body double, which is the one that we met in the plane, was in on it. And had been in on it from the very beginning. There's a lot of like evidence changed places and things happened. But what can I show here? So we learned this. We were right. This is the president's son. This is the original president of Zheng Fa's son. But, where is she? Oh, this is gonna be faster if I just look at her. Okay, of course she's the other direction. God damn it. Courtney, which, by the way, had I looked at the ages, we could have called that one right away. I thought she was in her 30s for some stupid reason. I don't know why. But that age range don't make sense. Anyways, it is his adoptive mother. His original mother, Amy Marsh, which I don't even think is in the evidence. Yeah, it's not in the evidence. His original mother, his birth mother, Amy Marsh, was Justine Courtney's cousin. They grew up together. People often, she even said, people often mistook them for sisters. So yeah, that's why she's been taking care of him the entire time. Trying to think of what else has happened here. Blaze covered it up. Big thing. So originally we were thinking that Blaze might have been looking for the ransom money that was buried here, which is why Blaze dug up the monster footprints. That wasn't the case. They hid the body of the original president of Zheng Fa. They buried him right there. Blaze was looking to dig up the body because this area was set to be undergo construction, and they would have found the body. Yes, the original president's body was literally underneath the double's body, because the double is what was killed. The double is the one who we saw on the ground that got crushed. Underneath him in the ground was the skeletal remains of the original president of Zheng Fa. Blaze had actually dug that up, and that was what was in the bag, and that was actually in his house. Because there was a point where we were like, oh God, John is the president's son and he might have killed the president. Oh, fuck. And then it's like, no, no, no. If he did anything, he accidentally killed the body double. But that's besides the point, because I don't know if we're going to get to that point yet or not. We're going to see here. So that's where we're sitting right now. And that's kind of why, like, we proved that Agent Lang's dad knew about it. He knew there was that the president had been murdered, but he realized if you expose that fact, the country goes into chaos. And he's like, I can't do that. Even if it meant the downfall of the house, he couldn't do it. Probably. That's kind of my guess. That's probably why he got killed. And like I said, I would not be surprised if Blaze killed him. Like, I've kind of thought that that's what's happened the entire time. Because I'm like, there's no way they're going to make it to where John, like the little kid, accidentally did it this time. But yeah, so that's kind of where we're sitting. By the way, I recognize these two. I recognize the two little rapscallions down below. I don't know who it is. I don't know which one it is. But it's one of them. It's either we have one or both of them here now.
In the back seat, there were two young children shivering from the cold. Wait. Is one of the kids fucking... His wrists are bound. What the shit? What the fuck is going on?
Two children?
Had they remained in the car for an hour longer, they surely would have frozen to death. I brought the two of them to a nearby orphanage.
Is there anything about Dogen's story that concerns me? Well, there is something. What concerns me is... there were two children in the car? I'm sure of that.
It may have been 18 years ago, but I remember it clearly. There were two children in the car. There were no mistaking it. Does the good prosecutor have a problem with that number?
Right now, the number of children isn't what I have a problem with. Okay. So this is it the same day as the day of the IS? Yes, it is. Okay, yeah. Okay, so it's the date of the IS-7 incident. December 24th, 18 years ago. You're sure about that?
There is no mistake.
Wait, could that mean... whoa, that was not the right voice. Could that mean... I know the significance behind that date. What shows the significance of the date when Dogen found the children? We were literally just on it. That day, a certain incident occurred. A sculptor was murdered. What? During that incident, two young boys went missing. The sons of the victim, Isaac Dover, and the culprit, Dane Gustavia. We never did figure out where those boys went after the case 18 years ago.
Oh, they were the sons of a victim and a culprit. It all makes sense now.
What makes sense?
One of the youths was bound so that he could not move.
Mr. Dover did it so that Mr. Gustavia's son couldn't come to the contest venue. Indeed, Gustavia was using his own son as a taste tester.
To think that is what transpired. Neither child seemed to recall what had happened.
They lost their memories?
The acolyte told me this when we were reunited 12 years ago. The pair were placed in an extreme situation, on the verge of freezing to death. That trauma led to them both to suffer from amnesia. Neither could so much as remember his own name.
Wait, so they didn't even know that they were both the sons of Mr. Dover and Mr. Gustavia? Indeed. Well, we can't say it conclusively. The probability is quite high. However, we still don't have enough information to deduce the mastermind's identity. Dogen, would you please continue your story?
Oh, I thought you'd never ask. Wow, that was okay. So
That testimony was literally just press them on everything and you eventually find the right answer. Okay, a little different, but all right.
I continued my correspondence with the young acolyte even after entering prison. Recently, that has all come to an abrupt halt. However, it left me quite concerned. Furthermore, those involved in the crime 12 years ago were all drawn into the incident one by one. I grew more and more curious, and so I absconded briefly from the prison.
Those involved 12 years ago were Patricia Rowland, Blaise Debaste, and President Huang's body double. And Miss Rowland was the warden of blah, blah, blah. Can't speak. And Miss Rowland was the warden of Mr. Dogen's prison.
I blackmailed the warden. That woman had tried to kill me. Perhaps the good prosecutors already deduced the reason.
You murdered President Huang. However, the world still believed he was alive. If you were able to prove the president was a fake, both Patricia Rowland and Blaise Debaste would have been in danger.
Oh, good job. I had heard the proof with my own ears.
What is this? This is the... What? I'll be waiting in the courtyard of the orphanage at midnight on February 9th. Even if it's just once, I want John to be able to meet you. What is... What in the world? Were those bells on the original message that he said? What the fuck?
I'm sorry. Who might you be? Presently waiting for someone. I'm very well aware of that. President Huang, are you not meeting with your son? However, do not spill blood needlessly. You may relax. I only seek the president's life. It can't be. Please wait. I'm just about to meet my son for the first time. I'm sure this will be the first and last time. Please. This will be the first and last time. Please wait until we are finished. I had thought the president would beg for his life, but he was of a different sort. Officially, the president had no son. However, he shook his head and said this illegitimate son was his, and he intended to recognize him publicly. Furthermore, he claimed that he had already made preparations towards that end. Would that son of his be the boy with the horns over there by any chance? How can you see him with the horns?
How can you see him with the horns? You're a blind motherfucker. Nah. Well, I mean, maybe. He could just be, like, blind as a... He could just be... He could actually have, like, really just shit sight. Oh, I get... Well, yeah, the dog has been, like, whispering in his ear, telling him, oh, yeah, there's a fucking guy with the horns over there. There's a kid with horns. He's, like, right there. He's, like, there's a bunch of investigators to the left, and there's, like, those two reporters over there, and there's, like, all this other stuff. Boy, with the... Wait, you can see John's horns?
There's no need to see them. From the moment I escaped from the prison till now, I have been closely lending an ear to your voices. Oh, well, okay, that's...
Sure, we'll take that advantage. He said that the president made preparations towards recognizing his son, but the word preparations alone would be insufficient for blackmail. That's it.
There was one thing that could prove Huang's words. The will held by the House of Lang. There was also proof of his trust in us. His son's existence would have been revealed to the world. Dog's telling me Kylo salad. The name of the on the recording, the mention of the preparations, and the will in Zhang Fa. Together they suffice to make the warden bow to my words.
Without those 3 pieces of information, one could prove the identity of the double, or with those, by using John.
The president blocked the first strike of my knife with something soft. As pieces of it fell on top of the snow, I struck once more. This time, the blow proved fatal.
Dogen cut off the Mozilla doll's horn.
None but I heard his final words. Only myself and that child knew of the president's secret son.
In other words, you contacted him from prison?
That is correct. A post office box was used.
A post office box? It would allow one to send and receive letters without revealing the recipient's location.
I could not use a form of correspondence that would reveal the acolyte's location. There was someone keeping watch over my correspondences, after all.
It must be the prison warden, Patricia Rowland. Could you be more specific about the nature of your correspondence?
Well, they were mainly moves for my correspondence chess matches.
Correspondence chest? If I recall, the person you were playing against... It might be hard to believe, but Dogen's chess opponent was... He was playing against Mr. Knightley? It couldn't have been Horace Knightley. Horace Knightley's dead. What's about to happen? Wasn't it Horace Knightley? Well, we certainly found the correspondence chest memo in Knightley's cell. Does that mean Knightley boy was the kid from the IS-7 incident? Could that really be true? Is there any evidence connecting Knightley to the IS-7 incident? There is... I'm almost certain there's a connection between Knightley and Dogen, Dogen's chess partner, whose identity is Knightley. That is proof enough. The receiver of the chess memos. Wait. Is it the ring?
Take that!
It's the ring! This is all that Knightley left behind. Could there be a clue hidden within? Which should I investigate? The ring or the chessboard? The ring. Did we never get a close-up of this ring up until now? Did we never get a close-up? Oh my fucking god. This ring is... Mr. Edgeworth, what is it? Mr. Shields, please take a look at this ring. Wait, this pattern is... It's Pierre Hoquet's. Thought so. He had Mr. Dover's seal turned into a ring. However, why would he have this? Shouldn't it have been held by the police as evidence from the IS-7 incident? We did... Okay, so we did get a close-up of it in the prison case? Oh, okay, I must have just forgotten about it. I mean, you know how my memory is. After the incident, the victim was... the seal was returned to the victim's next of kin. And Mr. Dover's only official family was his son. But since no one knew where the son had gone to, it took a while to get to him. I heard that the police had finally found him and delivered his inheritance, but... So then the seal was thereby safely delivered to his son? And then he turned the seal into a ring and wore it on his person. Wait, so... Mr. Knightley was Mr. Dover's son? This is getting fucking twisted. The police aren't fools. I'm sure they did a thorough check before handing over the seal. The someone involved from the IS-7 incident was his chess opponent.
Knightley, huh? That man must have been the mastermind behind the case. Oh, he's dead.
Knightley's dead. He can't be involved in the incident. Well, how about that? The only one who could be the mastermind was himself a murder victim. But a dead guy can't be the culprit, so there's no way, right? This is like another fucking body double. Are we doing double body doubles? We could. Certainly is strange. In that case, who's the culprit? Came to a halt? Now of all times?
Quite odd, is it not? Anubis told me again and again how odd it was.
That scary dog talked? Was it something like something's odd bark?
I can understand Anubis' heart, even if he does not voice it, his thoughts.
There's something I'd like to ask, just in case. Your scary dog's staring at me right now. He's not saying, I'm hungry, I want some meat, right?
Maybe.
Maybe. Mr. Edgeworth? Seems she's not good. She's not much good with the assassin's dog.
Good boy, there's a good boy. So then, at any rate, my correspondence with the acolytes suddenly came to an abrupt halt.
He could have been a middleman? Absolutely. He absolutely could have been a middleman. That one makes sense to me. But my guess would be it's Gustavia's son and not Dover's son. That's kind of what I'm thinking right now, but we'll see how this goes. It certainly does seem too much for a mere coincidence. The body double of Dijon Huang, the president of Zhangfa, faked an assassination plot. Patricia Rowland, the prison warden, murdered Horace Knightley, and Blaise Devaste, the chairman of the PIC, murdered Jill Crane. Come to think of it, I've been investigating these cases with the presence of some force behind the scenes.
Even within the prison, I could tell that this was no insignificant event.
You absconded briefly from the prison? Well, I cannot forgive such a criminal act. You stole your way out of prison? Well, I can't forgive such a thieving act.
Relax. No one was hurt. I merely have connections that allow me to set foot outside.
Ooh, but even so, you can't just escape from prison, pal. Somebody arrest him. Did somebody do it?
That won't be necessary. Once my business is done, I shall return to my cell. You're trying to make fools of us? A prison isn't the kind of place you can just enter and leave at will. The wolf may say that, but one can see that the wolf and his pack also share an interest in the tales of my past.
Agent Lang, Detective Gumshoe. There are still a few things I must ask Dogen. Please postpone matters until then. Yes, sir. I knew you'd say that, Mr. Edgeworth.
Damn it. And I'm not taking my eyes off you for a second.
Writing letters in Braille can be an enjoyable pastime? Wait, you wrote letters in Braille? What? Excuse me? You wrote your letters in Braille?
Indeed, for I possess the tools necessary to write in Braille.
Wow, so you need to use tools to write in Braille? I never knew that.
Can you please tell us what you wrote?
Hey, Daedalus. Investigations are good. Everything's going fucking crazy. This case just keeps getting weirder. I'm just going to tell you right now, things have gotten insane. We've got body doubles. We've got assassinations that were covered up. We've got acolytes. We've got, like, an assassin who's just, you know, he's casually out of prison. You never know. How you doing, dude? How are things going for you?
Everything. Ledgers, of course. And also the movements of the chess pieces.
You wrote the movements of the chess pieces by hand? Well, that statement's intriguing. So then, how does your handmade dog move piece? What? How does your handmade dog piece move? Okay, that question can wait. So then, what did you do when the letters stopped coming?
Within the prison, I grew increasingly concerned about the acolytes' whereabouts.
I mean, okay, but, even so, I don't really get it. Who exactly is this acolyte? Indeed, Dogen himself has not yet made that clear. What's important is the thread that connects Dogen and this acolyte and their correspondence. And not just the letters, which pay attention to the means that was used as well. They were written in Braille? Oi! I'm working on it. Give me a minute. I'm about to make that. But it was typed on a word processor. Not in Braille. Is that it?
Objection!
Excuse me? I'm certain you said you wrote your letters in Braille. I was like, wait a minute, what? Hang on. How does this work? How does this work?
Correct. The good prosecutor must know that I am lacking in sight, do you not?
The correspondence chest letters we found have been typed out using a word processor.
What? That cannot be.
What do you mean? What do you mean by that? Wait, so someone went out of their way to retype the letters on a computer? Could another person have acted as a middleman between Dogen and Knightley? What do you mean? Dogen wrote his letters in Braille. However, by the time it reached Knightley, it had been rewritten on a word processor. You must assume that some middleman rewrote those letters. Who was talking about a middleman earlier? Oh, yeah. The reverse can also be said. That same somebody might have taken the letters Knightley wrote and re-delivered them to Dogen. Yes, that indeed is true. When did you say these letters stopped showing up? Knightley and Dogen both communicated through a certain individual. Dogen, were the letters that reached you?
They were in Braille, of course.
So Knightley Boy's letters must have been transposed by that same person as well.
Oh, then someone must be.
The mastermind behind the case.
You're saying there's somebody else who's the mastermind behind this case that isn't any of the people here right now? Well, then who the hell is it?
Dover's son, Knightley, is already deceased. In that case, there is one more youth that we should consider to be the mastermind.
You mean Dame Gustavia's son? Who the heck is he?
Oh, God. Was it the first murder? Was it the very first murder? Wait a minute. If Knightley is Dover's son, then Gustavia's son must be. No, because that couldn't have been him, because he's not dead. Who's talking? Well, we were only friends either of us had since childhood. He was the same as me. Never had real families. Can't be, could it? Could it really be him? Who said that? Mr. Edgeworth, what is it? You've gone all pale. I figured it out. Oh my fucking God. It was the circus. Holy shit. Why did he stop? Why did he stop? This motherfucker. This motherfucker. This motherfucker. I figured it out. The identity of the mastermind has been controlling this case from the shadows. He's the fucking monkey puppet master guy. Of course he's gonna be controlling shit from the shadows. Wait, what? Wait, who in the world is it? I don't want to believe it myself. Is he here right now? Is he in the crowd with us right now? I was suspicious on him way back during the case. During the original case. During the case in the prison, I was like, this motherfucker, I don't know why he seems suspicious. This motherfucker. I don't want to believe it myself, but it's someone we know quite well. Oh my god! Mastermind behind the case sent a letter to Jill Crane, which deceived Blaze. Furthermore, he kidnapped John and eavesdropped on us. However, all of his actions, the one I've not been able to get out of my mind, is how he brought an unconscious Kay to the roof. Giant monster. Huh? Wait, did you say something, Mr. Edgeworth? That's right. The key to exposing the mastermind is the monster's true form. What was I using for his voice?
I don't remember what I was using.
We can probably like snag this one. Like a little bit there. Wait, where did I have his voice? I don't fucking remember how I had his voice. I thought it was like something kind of like this. If you like, please come to our next show. I'll also be performing in it. Oh god, it's fucking Regina.
Regina too. She's there. The Berry Big Circus is always fabulous and fun for all ages.
Remember how we talked about how he set up his own contraption to be able to move himself on the stage? He set that entire thing up. Miss Swift, there's something I would like to ask of you. Oh god, and I actually need that positioning. Yes? Oh wait, what? You mean me? You said you recorded the sound of Mozilla spewing flames. I like that Edgeworth isn't immediately calling it out yet. That's right. I had actually seen it with my own eyes, though. Could you let us listen to the tape? Well, sure thing. Well, there we go. Sound as I thought. So it seems that my reasoning was correct. The true nature of the monster and the mastermind. All of my logic is coming together. Miss Hart, you said you captured a giant eye on film, did you not? No, you're not there. It's that one there, and we want you there. You sure did. Right here in this photo. We can't confirm it like this. Detective Gumshoe. Yes, sir. Lend us your film analysis device. I mean, okay, but what do you want to analyze, sir? This photo, please. I'm on it. Wait, this is... That's not hers, that's hers. I flipped the two of them, so I'm getting myself confused here. See? Ain't the Mozilla eye right where I said it would be? I see. I finally have grasped the true nature of the giant monster that was being controlled by the mastermind. Yee! I'm gonna save just in case, because I don't feel like redoing all this section from however far off I am. I think I've got a good idea, I think. Maybe? Possibly? Hopefully. We'll see. Giant monster? Are y'all been doing? Y'all ain't you? You're a man that Mighty Mozilla's real. No, this is not Mozilla. This is the eye of a different monster. Please have a look at this. Is this a flyer for the very big circus? This is precisely. There's a rather large balloon with the head of a lion pictured here. The balloon is the true identity of the giant monster. In addition, the sound Miss Swift recorded, which she believed to be Mozilla spewing flames, is fucking the burner kicking on.
Mr. Prosecutor, don't tell me you're gonna say something that's gonna shatter my dreams of a scoop.
Hot air balloon fly by using burners to heat the air, right, sir? Precisely, Detective. The mastermind used this monster of his to bring Kay to the rooftop of the Grand Tower without using the elevator. Oh, fuck! Why did that not go off? Did it go off? Did I not hear it? Where did that even happen? I didn't even hear it. I'm just deaf as hell? You bet you're damn right. Wait, wouldn't that mean the mastermind is someone connected to the circus? Well, he's a member of the circus, Knightley's friend, and Dane Gustavia's son. Well, who'd have thunk it? Parent beast tamer. He's no amateur. This motherfucker. For the beast he has tamed is none other than this entire case. This entire fucking game! Simon Keyes. He is the mastermind behind the whole incident. Mr. Keyes? He was really behind it all? No way! I don't believe it! I mean, we trusted him! How could it have all been a lie? That's just heartbreaking! Okay. What is it? Oh, I need you there because we were using that. Hey, you stop. Where do you think you're going?
The boy with the horns is rather perceptive. The good prosecutor has done a remarkable job. Now that I have heard, I have no further business here. Of course it is! This is like...
Legit, this could have been one game. This could have just been one whole game. But they broke it into two. Because, like, we had, like... You're going to hear me say this more than once when we're done with this game. I am extremely fucking pissed that this game did not make it over here officially. Like, drastically pissed. I love that I finally got to play it. And that I am playing it. But I am so fucking pissed that it didn't make it over here in an official form. And the only way to play it is through fucking a fan translation patch. Very mad. Wait, Dogen! Duh.
Damn it, where'd he vanish to?
Mr. Edgeworth, are you okay? Yes, I'm fine. However... Oh, it's that one. That guy! John?
That Dogen guy. He's the one who killed my dad, right?
Oh god, there's no question more difficult than this to answer. However, there's no use in denying the truth. Yes, John, you are correct. He'll pay for this. I swear he's gonna pay. I'll make him pay myself. Oh,
Your mom will literally knock your ass out right now. She'll do it. You are within her range. She doesn't even have to extend. She will just clock you and it's just, you're done. You're not having that conversation while she's around. John, you mustn't finish that thought. Prosecutor Edgeworth, please pay us no mind. I'm currently going to be disciplining my son over here by bonking over the head until he stops thinking things like that.
Sir, put in an APB on Dogan. All available police units will be searching for him.
You heard the man, kid. I don't mean to be heartless, but we need to hurry. So, Mr. Prosecutor, where's the mastermind right now?
Agent Lang is right. Our top priority should be catching the mastermind. He said he would be practicing. He's most likely at the Berry Big Circus tent. But first, Agent Lang, I have a request.
A request? What is it? What could it be at this point?
Now that we've identified the giant monster, our next order of business is to capture it. The moment we arrive at the tent, I need you to locate that specific item post-haste. And Detective, I ask that you perform a follow-up investigation on the kidnapping incident. Roger that, sir. Mr. Edgeworth, I want to help out too. In that case, you'll be in charge of calling for backup. If he truly is the mastermind, maybe we may require assistance from a certain someone. I've met him so many times, yet his facade always fooled me into sympathy. He may have gotten the better of me in the past, but this time I'll sell it once and for all. She has literally formed his head into the exact shape of horns. You were born for this role. I've made you for this role. Oh God, we're gonna have another final battle with him. This is gonna suck. They've done a very good job of keeping it hidden late game. Because I kept thinking, okay, the Suns are going to come up at some point. Because we have the IS-7 case. And I'm like, we never found the Suns. That's clearly got to be a thing. And and it wasn't literally until like, what, an hour ago or something like that we started dealing with Dogan. That it's like, where, like, they weren't even in the picture. I'm like, okay, maybe this is just like a red herring they've thrown me in. Wouldn't be the first time they've tried to do something like that. But it's just like, oh, fuck. April 6th, 5:30 p.m. Berry Big Circus. Oh, God. Okay. I hate to do this, but I need to know, and I'm coming full screen to ask this question. How much is left in this game? Time-wise, roughly. Because I don't think we've got... I think the rest of this case is going to be proving that Simon is the thing, is the guy in a debate, basically. Like, Edward's going to do his thing. But I'm like, I'm almost certain I cannot finish it before I need to stop. Also, did we just save? The fucking dog came back again, and you know what happened to the other horn? Oh, yeah. They do a very, like, again, I am drastically pissed that they did not, like, this is going to bother me for a while. It's literally going to bother me for a while that they didn't bring this game over. Maybe one of these days they'll do an official bring over for whatever reason. We're all haunted by the spirit of the doll. Is anything like the first game quite a bit? I think this might be a good spot to stop then, because I have to stop at midnight regardless. I only got like 15 minutes before I can go. There's 4 rebuttals. All right, well, we're going to do that shit tomorrow then. I don't want to go like into like halfway through the first rebuttal, maybe not even to the first rebuttal, and then have to stop. I think this is a good spot. So we'll check this out tomorrow. Maybe we'll finish it tomorrow. I don't know. It would be good to finish this before GDQ. Sploosh. Sploosh. Indeed. Thank you for the sploosh. Like, my God. Now this is going to get really weird really fast. Because I have a feeling that Regina's going to get involved because we're trying to take down her animal tamer. Or her, like, monkey tamer person. whatever his official thing in the Very Big Circus is. Didn't Warren Roland at some point say that they have a bunch of they have this like they have these like shows from the Very Big Circus happen kind of frequently? Isn't that a thing they said? I get the because I'm like, that's how that would be like an extra way for that to happen if he came to the circus like every time. Is like just holy fuck. God damn. That's all I got to say. Just god damn. All right. That's gonna be for me tonight. It's a little, we're ending a little early, unfortunately, but again, I am the support lead for my job for this upcoming week, which means I have to be up at 8 a.m. ready to answer calls and be online at 8 a.m., which means I got to go to bed at like 1:15 ish. And I know that if I keep going, I'm not going to want to stop, which is why we're stopping here. So tomorrow we will pick this back up. And I'm going to try to start at 8 o'clock tomorrow. Like 8 o'clock, I'm going to start the ramble. We'll catch up on how the day went. And then we're going right into it. So we're going to get, as far as I can tell, we're going to get this game done this week. We're going to see how this goes. And I need to prep some voices because there's but oh god, do we get to do the same thing again but with a different assassin? Do we get to tell Keys that, hey, guess what, Dogen's coming for your ass, and if you want to, you know, be safe, you might want to admit and like, get away from stuff. You ready for case 6? You bet your ass I am. You tell me there's a case 6 in this game, I am fucking all in. Give it to me. 5 cases of this quality has already been really good. A 6th case? Oh, give it to me. But either way, I gotta figure out what I'm doing next. I don't know exactly how much, like, I'm hoping it only takes one day. I'm hoping it only takes one more stream. If it doesn't take one more stream, that's fine. I just preferably want it done before GDQ happens, so that way I'm not worried about it. And then I can find some other game to play. Preferably not one that's very long. I want to play the Nocturne remaster at some point, along with a lot of other things. But here's the thing: Great Ace Attorney comes out at the end of the month, and nothing else matters. That game will shove aside literally anything that is coming on. No, GDQ doesn't start tonight. GDQ starts next Sunday. It starts on July 4th. I know because I took the week off. I have the entirety of GDQ week off. That is in fact the reason I am support lead this week, because I was supposed to be support lead next week. And I took the week off. So I swapped with a coworker. To make this happen. But yeah. I think I've looked at the GDQ schedule a little bit. At some point, where do I have it? Is it over on this one? It is on this one. I think there's gonna be like chances for me to stream during GDQ week, but it's not gonna be that much. Let me look. Okay, so Sunday night, probably not gonna happen because they're doing an Oracle Ages run. And then I don't know how my sleep schedule is going to go, but like, I kind of want to get up for Star Tropics 2, because I remember that game a long time ago, and I want to play that game, or I want to watch that game being speedrun, because that sounds like it'd be fucking hilarious to watch. Let me see. So we could, depending on how things go, and depending on when it happens, there might be like an opportunity for a stream Let's see. So 3:30. There might be an opportunity for a stream Monday afternoon, because I can skip the Shadow of the Colossus run. I can skip the Kirby's Nightmare in Dreamland run. I can skip the Kirby Dream Collection run. I can skip the Odyssey run. But if they make it, I want to watch the Paper Mario run. Tuesday, like just after lunch, there's like the La Mulana remake, Dishonored, which I haven't played. I haven't played Horizon Zero Dawn. So like from like 1:30 to about 6:30, there's an opportunity for another stream there. But I do want to watch like the GTA 3. I want to watch the Metal Gear Solid 3. I want to watch Biohazard. I want to watch Resident Evil 7. I want to watch the Dead Space run. I will be getting up early Wednesday morning because I want to watch the Golden Sun 2, the Lost Age run. I want to watch that. That sounds like that's going to be fun as hell. But then after that, GeoGuessr is happening. And I don't care about that. Don't care about Ratchet & Clank. Don't care about Crash Bandicoot. Don't care about Hitman 3, Ghost Runner, Mass Effect 2. So there's an afternoon stream on Wednesday that we could do. Basically, we go up until the Majora's Mask run is about to start, because Majora's Mask Hundo, no source requirement, is going to be really crazy to watch. Good night, motorcycle. Or motor. Have a good night. Let's take a look at Thursday. So there's not really a long enough spot on Thursday to get away with a run or to get away with anything. So probably not going to have a stream Thursday. Friday, let's take a look at the afternoon, starting about lunch. I mean, I could probably start up a late stream, like for a little bit on Friday evening. Well, no, because that's Pathfinder. Never mind. And even if it's not Pathfinder, I always like. No, and I had it down for a while. That was the stupid part. I had actually had it down. I'm just like, oh yeah, motor, simple. And then for whatever reason, my brain went, oh yeah, say the full name this time. It just does that every once in a while. Cat noises outside my room. I don't need to watch the Fire Emblem Three Houses races because I haven't played that game and I still want to play it. I have so many games I want to play and I have so many RPGs I want to play. You have no idea. And then Saturday, more than likely, is not going to happen. No, because like afternoon is Super Metroid, Super Mario 64, Dark Souls 3, Demon Souls, Mario Brothers 3, and then into KH2 Final Mix Critical Mode. Yeah, no. So there's gonna be chances for streams. They're just not gonna be anywhere near the normal time that I stream. My brain hates me. My brain actively tries to sabotage me at every situation. It knew what it was doing. So it's going to be a lot of afternoon streams for me. Not a lot of evening streams because there's just not going to be time in the evenings to do the streams. Not anything longer than like 2 hours. So I'll probably try to throw some afternoon streams in. I don't know what that's going to be. If we're on to a different game, maybe we do that. Maybe I just play catch up and finish some games out that I need to finish. We didn't complete the Messenger. Probably need to do that. There is always Etrian Odyssey Nexus sitting over there that I need to finish at some point because I feel like I'm relatively close to that game, and I still love me Etrian Odyssey, so probably finish that. Yeah. There's always the VOD. It sucks that you won't be here, but there's always the VOD. The VODs are always there. I'm probably going to make sure I take some time. Might even do that during GDQ. I have VODs scheduled out for a while, but I might get some more recent VODs and just double VOD for a while. Because I've got stuff that's just been sitting on my YouTube channel for a while that needs to be up. But even then, the VODs will be there. Either way. If you want to know when I'm live, and you want to see it whenever those weird, like during GDQ runs and streams happen, hit the follow button by my name. Hit the bell. Come back, hang out, chill, relax. I don't know what I'm playing after Ace Attorney Investigations 2. I haven't figured that out yet, but I will. And we'll go from there. All right. I'm gonna head out for the night. Thank y'all for being here. You guys have all been awesome. Before I head out, one kindness from each and every one of you. Have a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, good day, whatever happens to be wherever you are at. And I will see y'all tomorrow. Maybe for the end of Ace Attorney Investigations 2. Maybe. We'll see. All right. Later.